Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to make one of my family's favorite recipes, Alfredo sauce. Hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so we are going to make some Alfredo sauce. I'm going to put the heat on. I'm going to turn it up relatively high, about 5. I'm going to put in about 4 tablespoons of butter, which is about a half a stick of butter. We're going to let that melt. The idea is you want that to be completely melted. We are going to make a roux, which is basically a mixture of flour and butter. You could use other fats too if you're doing like vegan style, but for us, we're just going to use butter. So we're going to let that melt. Alright, so now that the butter is melted, you can see it's nice and melted, we're going to add some flour to make a roux. So, I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. And what that's going to do is going to make a thickening agent to make the sauce nice and thick. I'm going to stir that with a whisk. Alright, I'm going to turn the heat down just a little. I'm going to stir that really well with a whisk. Alright. Now, I gotta watch this because what I don't want is for it to burn, okay? So I gotta make sure that temperature stays low and that I keep stirring. Now, while I'm stirring here, I am going to add some garlic. I love garlic. You do not have to put garlic in your sauce, but since I am a huge fan of garlic, I'm gonna throw some in there. And I'm gonna put it in now so it kind of cooks a little bit. Alright. I'm not going to go too overboard because my kids are going to eat this, so I want to make sure they're going to actually eat it. And you want to cook it for about 60 seconds to 90 seconds. What you want to do is get that flour taste out. If you don't cook this a little bit, it's going to have like a floury taste, your sauce here. Alright. That looks fantastic, right? I'm going to make sure that my heat is nice and low. Alright. Then I'm going to add my heavy cream and my milk. Now, when you do your heavy cream and milk, what you want to do is you want to pour them really, really slowly as you're still stirring. So basically, you're going to pour and stir. So you're going to need to use both hands here. Now, I'm going to do half heavy cream and half milk. If you wanted to make this recipe a little healthier, you could do all milk. It still tastes amazing, okay? But it's not going to be as rich. So just know that, but you will cut the calories by quite a bit if you just use milk. So I'm going to pour my heavy cream in, and I'm going to stir it as soon, and you can see already. Do you see how it's thickening? Look at that. All right, see how thick that's getting? You want to make sure you pour really, really slow. All right? Very, very slow. You can see how thick it is, right? Look at that. It doesn't look much like sauce yet, but you just wait. Alright. Same thing, so I'm just going to keep stirring and pouring. Stirring and pouring. I'm going to get an amazing workout doing this, you guys. Alright, pour that last bit in. And I want to make sure it's really well incorporated. Can't really overmix this, which is nice, so don't worry too much about that. And you can see how lovely that looks already, right? Now I'm going to add my milk, and I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit. Be really, really careful. You do not want this to boil. If this sauce boils, it will curdle, and it will be disgusting. It will get very chunky, okay? How do I know this? It's happened to me about 2 or 3 times while making this. So that's what happens when I don't pay attention. I'm just kind of doing too many things at once. So I'm going to keep stirring. All right. Now, it's very, very thick. This is a little too thick to be Alfredo right now. All right. So I'm going to add some milk. This is just whole milk. You could do any kind. I don't recommend skim. It's a little bit watery for this. But if it's all you have, then do it. Who cares, right? So again, I'm just going to kind of keep pouring. This milk sauce is a base for everything. You can use it for Alfredo. You can use this to make gravy for biscuits and gravy. You can use it as any kind of white sauce that you want to use. I use it for a German dish that I make called schnitzel and noodles. So it's a great all-around sauce recipe. You can modify this however you want. All right, and again, this is all about the patience. You see how nice that looks? See how creamy that is? That's because I'm patiently adding a little bit at a time and mixing. Okay? Wonderful. And every once in a while, I kind of just let it sit for a minute, kind of let it heat up. I don't want it to get too cool, and I don't want it to get too hot either. So a little bit of balance. While that's doing that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. All right, I'd say probably about ½ teaspoon. And then I'm going to start adding some pepper in there. All right, ooh, you can see that starting to bubble up. All right, so we got some pepper. And I'd say probably about the same, probably ½ teaspoon, ¼ teaspoon. One of the things about Alfredo is that it is peppery. So you're supposed to add a good amount of pepper. I'm not going to go too nuts because, again, I get 2 little kids that have to eat this. So, you know, if I put too much pepper in it, they're probably not going to eat it. Although I guess maybe more for me. But then I'll have to make them something else. So, all right. And again, so right now, what I basically have is biscuit gravy. Right? It's almost the same thing. So you want to surprise, you know, your family one day, make some biscuits and gravy. And I have a great biscuit recipe if you'd like that as well. I'll do that for one of these maybe. All right, so see how it's getting a little thin? I'm going to wait and kind of let it cook for a little bit. Keep going. A little more. Kind of let it sit for a minute. All right, so while that sits and kind of cooks a little bit, I'm going to talk about the cheeses. So, traditional Alfredo is made with Parmesan cheese. There it is. I got about 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese that I grated. It's really important that you grate your own cheese. If you buy the pre-grated cheese, they put stuff in it so it doesn't clump. And that actually makes your sauce lumpy and chunky. So if you want to have a much creamier sauce, you want to basically shred your own cheese. If you can't do that, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it will make your sauce a lot creamier and like thicker if you shred your own cheese, right? All right, I'm going to pour the last bit of milk in there. Now you're going to notice it's a little thin, but once I add the cheese too, it's going to thicken that up a little bit. So I'm going to let it thicken for another 30 seconds. I'm going to add the cheese. Now I also add mozzarella cheese, all right? This is not necessarily traditional, but I love it. It makes it kind of stringy and cheesy, and I just think it's great. So I add 4 ounces of mozzarella and 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese. Okay, and then at the end, I will show you the entire recipe so that you can kind of get ingredients if you need to. But again, it's pretty easy, and you'll be very impressed on how delicious this is. Now, you can also add some other stuff, spice-wise. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder in there, because I love me some garlic. Just a little bit. All right, again, just enough so that my kids will eat it. I'm going to mix it up. All right, and then I'm going to start adding my cheese. And the same rule, adding the cheese, as you did with the milk and the cream. You want to add a little bit at a time and stir. All right, so a little bit of cheese. Stir it up. All right, a little bit of cheese. Stir it up. You want it to melt. All right? It'll melt really nice. And see it kind of stick in there? Ooh, yum, yum. Doesn't that look fantastic? Oh, it really does. This is easier than you thought it was, isn't it? Yeah, this is pretty much the whole recipe, you guys. That's it. All right? And there's your... So I add the rest of my Parmesan. All right? Lovely. Let that melt. Now, if you notice your sauce gets too thick, you are welcome to add more milk. I mean, this is your sauce, you guys. You can do whatever you want. So, oh, there's my daughter in the background yelling at me because she also wants to eat some Alfredo. See, she's ready for dinner. She's yelling. All right, so I'm going to mix the rest of this. I'm going to turn the heat off completely. And what that's going to do is make sure that I don't overcook this. Because if you cook it with the cheese in there, again, and it overcooks, it's going to curdle, and it is going to be ick. Very, very yucky. Look at that sauce. Tell me that doesn't look amazing. All right, so that is how you make Alfredo sauce. It is that easy, okay? So, hope you enjoyed my video, and please try this at home. Most of you guys will have these ingredients in your house. It'll be really fun to see if you guys can make some of this sauce too. Have an awesome day.